go. Now it's Caleb Sailors, Multimedia Journalist of SuperTalk Mississippi News.
What's going on, Gerard?
What is happening there, Caleb? Tell us all about it. A lot of stuff going on here in the great state of Mississippi.
Yeah, it's been an eventful week in Mississippi. We've had a couple of, breaking stories, big stories, and a very tragic story, too. I'll start with here in Tupelo. This one is a little bit of both. We had a gas leak explosion in where there was repairs being done near Highway 6 and County Road 660 in that Tupelo-Lee County area. And there were 3 workers that were injured due to an explosion that happened there. And this has impacted 20,000 customers in that area. I mean, people in Tupelo, Guntown, Verona, Saltillo, Brewer, Plantersville, all in the area. Then Atmos Energy has had to go in and, shut people's gas off, businesses, residents, everybody. And Gerard, the problem is these people don't have their gas appliances and can't use them right now. And officials don't know how long it's going to take to repair all the issues that have been caused by this explosion. I talked to some people that are close to the scene that said that, it could take days. It could potentially take weeks. So we're kind of in wait-and-see mode. But this is 20,000 people who were affected by this. It's a huge story in Mississippi. But from what I've heard, from what it sounds like to me, it was a freak accident. Obviously, the repair workers weren't looking to cause chaos in their community. They weren't looking to be hospitalized. But really, really, really interesting scene there in Lee County. And obviously, you can keep up with us. SuperTalk.fm will keep you informed when any updates are.
Is there any estimated date, time of restoration?
Nope.
Nothing at this point?
No specifics. Not that I've heard. I mean, I've talked to people from Atmos and people from, local leadership, but they're nothing specific right now. I mean, again, they're kind of in not wait-and-see mode. They're actively trying to remedy the situation, but there's no – it's kind of hard to put a time frame on it right now because they're kind of in the early stages of, it took initially they were having to shut everybody's gas off, and that takes time. I mean, you're talking about 20,000 people or 20,000, customers in that area. That takes some time, and now they're having to just kind of identify the problem, fix it, remedy it. It could take days, possibly weeks, though, Gerard.
Yeah. Well, that's not good news. We certainly hope for the best there for the people in the northeastern part of the state. Something that hopefully breaks. What about this,
horrible
sad
story.
situation with UMMC helicopter crash?
Crazy to think that was Monday, Gerard. I mean, what a week this has been. Crazy to think that was Monday. For those who don't know, I'm sure everybody does know at this point, but some of our listening audience who may not know, there was a helicopter crash, UMC helicopter, University of Mississippi Medical Center. For those unfamiliar with the acronym, helicopter crashed in Madison County near Highway 43 and the Natchez Trace, just north of the Ross Barnett Reservoir. But there were 3 people on the helicopter, on the chopper, none of whom were patients. It was the pilot and 2 medical personnel. It was 35-year-old Dustin Pope and 37-year-old Jacob Kent, who were part of the medical personnel. They were flight nurses. And then Cal Wesolowski, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, 62-year-old was the pilot. All 3 of these men were from Mississippi. All 3 Mississippians passed away as a result of the collision. And I know that federal authorities from the FAA and NTSB are investigating and seeing what led up to the crash. But right now we don't know a lot of specific details of how the plane or the helicopter crashed. But we knew that scene was horrifying, Gerard. I mean, I've seen reports that, you wouldn't have known if it was a helicopter if it weren't for certain specific parts that are in helicopters. It's just... and this has been one of those years where this year, I guess a lot of this is magnified. I mean, flights get to and from safely all the time, every day, but we put these under a microscope when there's a crash. It appears to be more crashes this year than we've seen in previous years. That may not be the case because, again, we sensationalize a lot of these things, but in a time where we see plane crashes, we saw that medical flight crash in Philadelphia, then we have this here in Jackson. It's scary, and I don't think we give our first responders enough credit for what they do, Gerard. I mean,
totally agree.
Even like these pilots who are transporting patients to and from. I mean, could you imagine transporting a patient to somewhere? And this is what this crew did. They transported someone from Columbus to Jackson, and they were heading back to Columbus, back to the Golden Triangle when the helicopter crashed, just in Madison County, just 15 minutes away from the hospital.
Sad deal. And no doubt, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families.
100%. Those impacted by it. Absolutely. And Gerard, our a little legislative update. Nothing new here.
There's an update?
No, yeah, there's no updates. They're still fighting, Gerard. And I'm sure you saw House Speaker Jason White's tweet yesterday when he told the Senate not to send any milquetoast bills back to him and called out the lieutenant governor. And I mean, he was on this program last week and he spoke his mind freely. And I commend lawmakers for speaking their mind and being transparent with the public, but this fighting over school choice is something that's going to continue in Mississippi into next year and future years. I'd imagine this is not anywhere near over. The House had a portability bill. I know Representative Jansen Owen talked about it extensively, so I'm not going to dive into the details. It would just ease the public-to-public transfer process in Mississippi.
He also included in his social media post the hashtag #LetMeCheckWithNancy. He's referring to Nancy Loom, who, of course, is a major force with the Parents Campaign, which is staunchly opposed to any form of education freedom.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention the hashtag, but since you went there.
It's right here on social media by the Speaker of the House, so I'm not saying anything out of school here.
No, I agree, Gerard. I mean, he didn't pull
taking off the gloves.
He didn't pull any. No, and I mean, I guess I understand the frustration on his end. I mean, he's adamantly clear before the session started that school choice was one of his top priorities in Mississippi, and that's been a theme in the House, but it extends further than just education, Gerard. I mean, we can even look at mobile sports betting, other bills where the House has shown great willingness to do what I would say a lion's share of the people of Mississippi want to do. And then in Senate, and it's not that the Senate's just holding these bills up. They're not even letting them to go to a floor vote.
They can't get them out of committee.
For example, mobile sports betting has not been. There's not been a floor vote in the Senate on mobile sports betting.
And this, of course, in my view, invites criticism of the lieutenant governor when you've 100%. got a chair of a committee here that happens to have sweeping legislation. I mean, major legislation assigned to that committee, and it's headed by a Democrat in the chamber, and we may have a different outcome, but we don't know. I've really never heard the lieutenant governor's position on mobile sports betting.
And I think on the gaming issue too, I think even a bigger qualm with the committee chairman position is beyond party lines. It's that Senator David Blunt doesn't even represent a casino. He's not even in a district with a casino.
That's right. He's from Jackson area, Byram,
he's my
Hinds County. Yeah, and has some Jackson in there as well. I totally agree with you, but it feels like, however, that perhaps he's being influenced by the casinos themselves.
Oh, no doubt.
And they have a strong lobby.
Oh, no doubt.
And I think that they're kind of split. I don't think they have
he's even said
consensus.
He said such. He said that the casino industry is split right down the line on mobile sports betting, and that but his contention is that our gaming infrastructure in Mississippi exists to grow our economy, to spur economic development, and to create jobs. And he contended adamantly that mobile sports betting doesn't do that. So I think it's a philosophical disagreement with mobile sports betting with our existing infrastructure, because Senator Blunt even said, he went on to say that when he was on our program a couple weeks ago, said that if we didn't have our existing brick-and-mortar gaming infrastructure, we'd probably have mobile sports betting right now. But it's crazy because we do. I mean, there are casinos in Mississippi that really, really want mobile sports betting. I can name 5 of them right now. And it would bring revenue to the state. It would tap into a new market. It would, and like you said, Gerard, we've talked about this off the show. One of the major contentions for it is that people want it.
Yeah.
It's personal freedom.
It's pretty popular,
just
best I can tell.
Let them do it.
Yeah. And it's happening here anyhow. We're just not getting the revenue from it.
Oh, I mean, Gerard, in my older days, I'm not that old. My older days, I've used bookies before. I mean, every just about everybody's done it at some point or another. And I know they're trying to crack down on the illegal market, which is good. They should crack down on illegal sports betting. But the best way to do that is what Gaming Commission Executive Director Jay McDaniel said on this program was, if you legalize mobile sports betting, that will pretty much do away with the online illegal gambling.
Yeah.
You legalize it because people aren't going to want to go to bookies anymore because now they have full assurance that they're going to get their money if they win.
Yeah.
And it would help. But, Gerard, we've got a sports update. Ole Miss has moved their baseball game up to 2 p.m. today, so they'll be on the diamond.
Weather.
Yeah, weather. And Southern Miss will play at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and the Rebels will tip off in Nashville basketball at noon. And for the first time ever, Gerard, Ole Miss and State's men's and women's teams will be in the NCAA tournament this year.
Very cool.
First time ever.
Appreciate it, Caleb.
Yes,
Caleb
sir.
Sailors, multimedia journalist with SuperTalk Mississippi News, has been our guest. Stay tuned. We're coming right back with more from the Element Wealth Studio.